Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Yeah, I didn't really. What did I say? This morning was very busy. Multiple anomalies with no sound barriers. A lot of them actually. I think all of them were. Stairs were contested for like 10 minutes, and I was on a bike for like 5 minutes, and then my ass hurts because that seat is so uncomfortable. So I went to the treadmill and finished it off with the walk. But again, even when I was in the treadmill, a no sound barrier person was too close, and the gym is also cold. So since my mask is not wet because we didn't do the stairs, I might as well just keep it on because it's warm. Whenever I breathe out, it warms up my face. So yeah, it's nice and warm. And currently we're just doing the shoulders. So yeah, that's basically about it for today. If we talk about yesterday, it's pretty boring. We did like 1 hour of fishing and did absolutely nothing but freeze. And then I spent like nearly 3 hours absorbing sunlight. No joke. I spent a long time absorbing sunlight yesterday. It was really good, but pretty no content, but I was just absorbing the sunlight. It had been like nearly a month since I've last done that, so yeah, that's why I was so long absorbing the sunlight. And then after the sunlight, we did quarantine zone, and we stopped quarantine zone. I finished it because that zombie mission is too retarded. And then after that, I tried out Hell is Us, which was really bad. I did some research, and apparently that the game is pretty much how it is at the beginning. It's just going to be a bunch of discovery and searching with not yeah. So it's like an explorer game, and yeah, that's basically what we did yesterday. So today, I think the plan today is just to continue scouting for new content. So I'll see what's up in the Game Pass. Yeah, I'll have a look. But besides that, though, yeah, nothing really else too of interest. It's still going to be winter. Sunlight is good, so streaming is going to be cut. But the fact is that since it's YouTube, YouTube doesn't really like when you stream a game, you have to dedicate like 1 to 2 hours on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like let you change midstream unless you're like, a big streamer. Then you just put a normal, yeah. Besides that, though, that's kind of about it. Nothing really else to report. Nothing else to report. Should probably drink the water, but yeah, that's what today is about. Just gotta scout for new content and see if there's anything that hooks us. Story videos are also getting hella boring. Man, the story videos is just so bad as well yesterday. I need to drink the water. And y'all should know that shorter day is extremely efficient. It's not really, it's like the most efficient, but right now I'm just gonna clean everything I can. Reason is because I feel I want to be clean today. We actually slept early yesterday as well. Yeah, we slept early yesterday, so that's a positive. That's the one I'm just very talkative right now. But yeah, again, there's like nothing to really say. Nothing to say at all. I think that's the end of my report. I think it's because we have no filler games. Just saying. I haven't done Overwatch in like weeks. Never touched League of Legends again. I'm not gonna touch Valorant. Those are like the only filler games anyways. Maybe I could try like VR. No, I don't know. Maybe. But I know that the VR community is probably the most weirdest one. That ecosystem is bad. Well, nothing's actually bad. You know, it's not like that dark and stuff. Golden Golden half an hour is not very it's not very decent today, but I must say though there is like one person that's speaking really loud to the phone, but I appreciate that because it helps. It really does help. It creates a secondary sound barrier, which is good. So I actually appreciate that. No joke. Some foreign language, whatever. Nothing to really report. We touched grass yesterday as well, so is that's basically about it. Yeah, speed running the shoulders as well. Legs area did a tiny bit from yesterday, and yeah, we just have to find whatever is new on the. I think in like 2 more days. Wait, what's the date today? Apparently that Halo campaign's out. Oh, it's actually out today. I think we could definitely try it out. I never really played Halo, but I wonder. There's also like the Halo show as well, but I never watched it either. R.I.P. The guy that was speaking loud on the phone's gone. There goes my sound barrier. My assistant sound barrier is gone. Oh well. I wonder what other content there is outside. There's actually no other content. I don't know. I'll see about it. In terms of the macro regime that we're doing, we are lowering protein and increasing rice. How do I feel so far from eating split meals? It's sometimes a burden. I'll admit that. Definitely a burden. But I think it slightly helps the morning routine a tiny bit. Maybe. I don't actually I don't actually know. All I can say is that I trust me. And besides that, there's no, yeah, I don't know what else there is to really report. Everything's pretty much normal. Again, continue compounding, you know, more metadata. Maybe I should just do it. That's why we do story videos as well, to collect a bit more metadata if I can. Each story we listen to is like a new scenario that we can use our problem solving to see if there's any like things you could do or just it is what it is. Okay, based on my analysis, I don't believe we could do a second last part. The golden half an hour isn't viable. Sometimes it's like being like an astronaut. I feel like it feels like an astronaut. What do you call it? Analyze and talk about the Terrans. Currently, the space occupation is not ideal, and golden half an hour is not good. Mind you, it used to be called golden hour too, but it's just gotten worse. I think they finally caught on too. Oh well, that's basically it though. I was gonna say something, but still, I'll talk about it next time. But yeah, I guess besides that, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Maybe a story video. Very efficient day today, I guess. Well, not really. It's just cut short because I'm looking at the area we usually do our thing. It's occupied and contested and stuff like that. Whatever. I was gonna talk about up, but I'm good. Till next time. Golden half an hour today is actually so bad. There are like 10 cars here, and some of them are double pairs. So there's like, what? There's literally, what do you call it? Oh my god, what's this? Hold on. There's like 10 plus cars, and some of them's like pairs. So there's like 18 people at the gym right now. What? How? Whatever. It is what it is. It's been compromised. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I was gonna talk about the movie Up? You know that really sad scene, right?
that really sad scene. Well, not sad, but like that scene where it shows like the old people, you know, having a, you know, they were childhood friends, and then they built the house and stuff, right? And they have that like really sad song and stuff like that. I was gonna say, like, that is not even bad. I don't even know why people people say the scene's like sad and stuff, but like if you think about it, right, should be all good, no? You already lived your life and you're like 80 plus now, you know, it is what it is. I don't think it's that sad. Oh well. Is that everything to talk about? Yeah, I guess it is. Alright, well, I'll see you guys next time then. Yeah. Hello. Hey guys. Oh my god, the GOAT, he uploaded a new one 23 hours ago. 4 true stranded horror stories. Alright, well, we're gonna continue the summer backyard horror stories, so I guess we'll do it. YOLO.
My name is Dave, and I'm 35 years old.
35 years old. Alright.
I grew up with a pretty small family. I have 2 brothers, and that's it. We don't have any cousins or anything. These days, the norm, at least in the US, is to have kids in your late 20s or early 30s. My brothers and I all had kids really young. I guess because we wanted to grow our family. My brothers' names are Pete and Jim. We live in Jasper, Georgia. Our kids are all around the ages of 3 to 10. Each of us have 2 kids. This story happened very recently, actually, in May of 2026. We like to have a lot of barbecues at my house.
Hey, 2 brothers with their own kids. That's 3 brothers and 6 offspring. Oh my goodness, that is a strong family bond right there. Of course y'all have barbecues. That's crazy. 3 brothers and 6 kids? That is literally a dynasty dream. Well, not a dream, but you know what I'm saying, right? That's like, I bet the grandpa's super proud. Or the father. You had 3 sons and each of those sons had 2 kids. Bro. Massive family tree. W. So of course you're gonna have barbecues.
For Memorial Day, I invited Pete and Jim and their families over for a barbecue, along with our parents. My wife Nancy and I started setting up early. Our backyard is the best for hosting out of all of us because we have a pool and a big entertaining area, along with a big open grass area for the kids to play. Our neighborhood is pretty quiet and spacious, so instead of our neighbors' yards being right next to ours, we have woods in the backyard. In all honesty, we have the cliche home setup for a horror movie. Everyone came over around 1 p.m. Things went how a typical backyard Memorial Day gathering would go for us. We drank beers throughout the day, ate barbecue, and jumped in the pool. The kids played various games in the pool and field, and the hours flew by like this. Nightfall came, and we eventually had ice cream and dessert. And during this time, we heard the most blood-curdling scream from out in the woods. Everyone stiffened up and went silent, and only after maybe 10 seconds did we finally speak up. The first question was asked by Jim, and he asked if that was a fox. I said no way. I hear fox screams somewhat often here, and I know the sound. This sounded very human.
You call the police.
Cut the music off now, and there was definitely a tense feeling in the air now.
Call the police.
The kids were visibly shaken. But
Police.
it could have just been some local teenagers messing around on Memorial Day.
Yeah, no, but you still call the police though. Because if you hear like screams from the woods, you call the police because they could be like a a cold case or a murder case, something like that.
But when we heard the same blood-curdling scream a second time,
What the
I told
police?
the kids to go inside. In fact, everyone except my brothers and I went inside. The three of us went to the edge of the woods and waited there for a few minutes, waiting for another scream that never came. Eventually, I screamed out into the woods asking if someone needs help. This didn't lead to any kind of response. Needless to say, this really put a damper on the rest of our celebration outside. So we started bringing stuff inside and spent the rest of the night inside.
Real.
The topic of conversation was the screams for a little while, but eventually we moved past it and dismissed it as some teenage Memorial Day shenanigans.
You still call the police?
Eventually, the night was coming to a close and everyone started heading out. Our parents left first, then my brothers and their families. I'd call it 10 p.m. when they were all gone. We cleaned up a bit more, eventually said we'll do the rest tomorrow, and started getting ready for bed. The kids were already asleep by this point. Nancy and I were exhausted and climbed into bed. And then, a sound that you never expect nor want to hear at this hour of the night. The doorbell. The doorbell rang and made Nancy and I instantly shoot to an upright position and look at each other. "Who do you think that is?" she asked me. To which I said, maybe one of my brothers forgot something. I got out of bed and went downstairs to the front door. Without opening the door, I said, "Who is it?" And a man on the other side said, "Hey, can you open up? It's important." I was not opening that front door to an unidentified stranger at that hour. So I responded, "Can you identify yourself?" He then said, "It's your neighbor down the road." I responded, "Which one? What's your name?" He responded, "Jack." I didn't know any Jacks. I asked him for his exact address. I would know if it was a real address or not. But after I asked this, there was dead silence. I repeated my question, but instead of him answering, I heard footsteps walking off the front deck. My question scared them away. Who was that person? Surely it wasn't actually a neighbor. They were trying to get me to open the door. This prompted me to check to make sure every door and window was locked. When I told Nancy about the weird encounter, she started to freak out and went to check on the kids. I eventually was able to calm her down, but I agreed with her that it was a very scary encounter. We went to sleep eventually out of sheer exhaustion. The nightmare didn't truly begin until about an hour or two later when I awoke to Nancy shaking me. She told me she heard what sounded like the garage door closing.
What?
Our garage doors manually opened and closed. I never bothered fixing the mechanisms for the automatic open-close feature. But if what she heard was true, that meant we didn't lock the garage door. My heart started racing right away. I have a .22 pistol in my bedside drawer that I keep for potential home defense situations.
W.
I grabbed it and told Nancy to wait there. She told me not to go, but I had to. I quietly went down the stairs. Each step, the fear of the situation setting in even more. When I got to the bottom, the door that leads into the garage from inside the house was just down the hall to the right. I tiptoed over, and I saw that this door was locked. So, if what Nancy heard wasn't just a dream or imagination, that meant someone was still inside there. I put my ear up to the door for a second and listened. I couldn't hear anything. I unlocked the door as quietly as possible, and it took me a minute to gather the courage to grab the doorknob. When I finally did, I yanked the door open and aimed the gun up in front of me. I looked inside the garage. I didn't turn the light on yet, but there was a small red light on the work desk coming from a tool charger. It lit up this little corner of the garage where I saw the outline of a person.
Freeze!
I knew it had to be.
Stop reach. Just start shooting
I saw
him.
in the darkness the figure swaying a little back and forth in this weird way.
Or just start blasting.
The sight made me want to throw up.
Just start blast. You got a
I
gun.
announced that I had a gun, and I locked my aim onto the swaying black mass in the corner. My heart nearly dropped out of me when the black mass fully moved towards the garage door, and the door then lifted up just enough for them to run out and escape before the door fell back down to the floor. Only then did I turn on the garage light and run to lock the garage door. The whole thing was over in less than a minute. I couldn't even process it fully yet. I ran to the phone to call the sheriff's office and reported a break-in. Upon their arrival, I told them of the screams in the woods, the man at the front door, and the person in the garage, all while Nancy listened in. This call was less about expecting them to immediately catch this person or people, and more about getting this whole incident documented so they could be aware of it. On the spot, there wasn't much more they could do other than make us feel safer in the moment. They searched the inside and outside of the house and then advised us to keep everything locked. After that, sleeping was pretty difficult for a while.
You got a gun.
It's been a little over a month, so this is still kind of fresh, and the fear of them coming back is still present. I do think the man at the door was the man in the garage.
Wait, it's 2026, so, you know, they're not going to get away with anything, honestly. 2026? What they going to... Also, hold on, if it's 2026, you should be, like, you know, have some kind of security cameras and, like, a, you know, CCTV footage. If it's a story from 2026, May. Right, that was interesting, but bro's got a gun, so obviously wins that. You should have just blasted, I guess. You know, you got kids and a wife upstairs. Someone's in the house. You got a gun, bro. You gotta just start blasting. Stranded horror stories. Lock in. Give me an ad. No ad. Well, listen to one. This is a long one too.
I hear weird stories all the time, but I never thought I would have my own to share someday. This happened to me about a year ago, and I was basically stranded in the middle of nowhere. I'm in a band, and anybody who's in a band knows the struggle can be real. There have been times when we've played in rooms that literally don't have another person in the building. You take show opportunities whenever you can get them. On this specific night, I drove about 2 hours from where I live to play a show in a small town. The other guys in the band offered to drive me, but I told them I would drive myself since I would be driving right from my other job. Because of my band obligations, normal jobs have always taken a back seat, and as a result, I'm broke. I sacrifice bills all the time so I can put gas in my car to drive to these shows. When I was driving to that show, I realized that my gas tank was not in a great position. By the time I arrived, I was closer to empty than I wanted to admit. After the show, my bandmates left before me. I grabbed a drink at a bar and hung out with the locals for a while.
That seems very inefficient. I mean, I get you got like another job to go to, right? But the band should be moving together, no? Also, how can you say you're like broke, but then you're drinking at the bar? Are you like, you know what I mean? You say you're broke, but then you go to a bar which is like hella expensive. Like you're drinking to just get like, okay, well.
Before hitting the road. It was nearly 2 in the morning when I finally left. I pulled into
So why would you drink at a bar if you're gonna go hit the road again? Doesn't make is it just not making sense right now?
4-hour gas station that was down the road from the bar, and I tried to get some gas. Of course, my car wasn't working at the pump. I had $5 in cash on me, so I used that and hoped I could make it home.
You cannot be that broke to have $5 left. He probably spent all on drinking. He's drunk and broke.
I wasn't very optimistic. I did try texting my brother to see if he could Venmo me some extra money for gas, and that I would pay him back. But since it was so late, he obviously didn't text me back. I started the long drive home, and I didn't make it very far, as you might expect.
Well, how can you be that broke? That's crazy how you can be that broke. Can't even, like, how do you even be that broke? Venmo? I don't even know what that means. That's crazy. Especially for like a 2-hour drive. How are you not like stacked? But then again, he still went to the bar to drink, so I don't know what he's doing. He probably spent like, you know what I mean? Like, it costs money to drink at a bar.
I ran out of gas, and I still had almost an hour left to drive. I was sitting on the side of the road, trying to figure out what to do. Service on my phone was terrible, but I could probably get a signal if I got out of my car and tried hard enough. Since it was so late, I didn't really want to call anybody and worry them, especially since I was so far away from home. I thought about just closing my eyes and resting for a few hours until dawn, and then I would call someone. But I didn't know if that was against the law to technically sleep on the side of the road. It felt sketchy. I figured my best option was just to wait out the clock until dawn. I could call my brother and we could figure something out.
Is it illegal to sleep in your car on the side of the road? Is it? I think police would check on you, but like, Surely it's not like what's wrong with that? Would you rather have me crash into like a family of 4 or sleep on the side of the road? You know?
I tried pulling up YouTube on my phone, but it just wouldn't load properly because of the bad cell service. I felt so helpless just sitting there. It was a real eye-opener for me. I really needed to get my life in order. I was sitting in my car for about half an hour when I caught something out of the corner of my eye. I looked out of the passenger side window, and standing about 30 or 40 feet away from my car was a person with a hood on. They weren't moving or doing anything that was necessarily threatening, but it didn't make it any less terrifying. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. If you see a random hooded person just appear in the middle of nowhere, you'd be a little freaked out also.
But you would also maybe be freaked out if a car just parked by the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. You know? Who knows that? You know what I mean? Like, it's both scenarios. What's that car doing outside?
I made sure I locked the doors, and I just kept my eyes on this strange figure that came out of nowhere. The only time I broke my stare was when I started looking at all my mirrors and the surrounding areas of my car to make sure I didn't see anyone else. There were no other people, no car, nothing. Just this person with the hood on. When I looked back at the figure, I noticed that they were moving very slowly toward my car. Like, unnaturally slow. I never felt so helpless in my life. I was literally in a car and I couldn't just drive away. It was like being stuck in quicksand. Eventually, they were within just a few feet of the car. I couldn't exactly tell what they looked like in detail, but I could confirm that it was a young woman under the hood, probably in her 20s. I tried shouting at the girl with my window still completely rolled up, asking what she needed or if she was okay. She didn't answer. Even though I was freaking out a little bit, at the end of the day, I still felt somewhat safe because I was inside my locked car. When she was standing a few feet away, she stopped inching closer. Then she just stood outside the car. It was the most unnerving moment of my life. Every minute or so, I would continue shouting at the woman, offering help. But just like before, no response at all. This may sound crazy, but I was trying to ignore her. Since I was stranded on the side of the road, I couldn't drive, my phone wasn't really working, and I wasn't about to get out of my car.
If your phone can play YouTube, then you could have just like took a photo and recorded a free video, right? Just saying. Just saying.
I just decided to leave her alone.
Like, you know, if your phone is capable of playing YouTube, then you should have photos and videos. Fake story, isn't it?
Trying to sing songs and mentally work on some chords while this strange woman just stood a couple feet away from me watching. Ignoring her proved to be harder than I thought. I couldn't take that horrible feeling anymore. It had to have been 10 times I tried to communicate with this woman. Finally, I decided I was going to try to record her. I pulled up the camera on my phone and tried pointing it out the window even though it was super dark. As soon as I started recording out the window, the woman moved in closer and started banging on the passenger door and trying to open it.
GG.
I wish I had kept recording, but the panic I felt in the moment caused me to freak out and drop the phone. It almost sounded like she was growling or grunting. The sound was weird.
She knows the power of the camera.
Natural.
She knows the power of the camera.
This happened so fast, but I still tried to get a better look at the woman when she was beating on the door. She really did just look like a normal girl with blonde hair. She didn't look evil or monstrous. I wasn't going to wait for this woman to break my window and try eating my face. I grabbed my phone from the floor of the car, my keys, and grabbed my guitar from the back seat. I took a deep breath, unlocked my door, and ran as fast as I could down the road.
Why didn't just beat her up? Yeah, fair enough, she'd be a zombie.
While I was running away, I looked back, and the woman didn't chase me. I stopped running and looked at her. She was slowly walking in my direction, but not running after me or even breaking into my car. She was just walking in the same direction as me.
GG.
I shouted at her one last time, asking what she wanted, but still no response at all. She just continued to walk in my direction. That was a big nope for me. I turned back around and just ran as fast as I could. I remember when I was driving to the show, I passed a good amount of nothing. Before all of the nothingness, there was a small town. I planned on running as far as I could in the direction of that town.
Well, so shouldn't you just go to police? And also, you got a guitar.
Until dawn, and then I would call for help. I realized I could have called the police at any moment, but this didn't seem like a police call in my mind at the time.
What do you mean?
Stupid as that sounds. Where I come from, you avoid calling the cops whenever you can. It's an ignorant and stubborn character.
You black. Must be black people, right? Must be. Sorry. Must be, right? What other ecosystem says that?
Where I come from, you avoid calling the cops.
You avoid calling the cops whenever you can. What? The only society that does that is the blacks. The druggies. Because most likely you'll catch a case regardless.
It's an ignorant and stubborn characteristic, I know that. At 6 in the morning, I was finally approaching the small town. At the same time, I called my brother and told him what happened. He came to pick me up, and we took care of my vehicle. When we got back to my car, the back door was wide open. We looked inside the car, and nobody was inside and nothing was taken. I had some of my music equipment in the car, and she didn't take any of it. All she did was open the back door for some reason. My brother joked that she probably just wanted a place to sleep for the night, but my mind went somewhere much darker. I thought maybe she got into the back seat to hide, hoping that I would return to the vehicle that night. Obviously, I never saw this woman again. This is one of those stories that I'll unfortunately never have any type of concrete answer for. I've heard all the theories of what this woman wanted and what she was, and they all make sense. At the end of the day, I think it was just a strange, nomadic woman who happened to be wandering in this area I got stuck. I tried not to think of the possibility of what could have happened if she had somehow broken into the vehicle. I did learn something in all of this. I always make sure I have enough gas to get where I'm going now, because I never wanted to be stranded on the side of the road again.
I mean, what if your car breaks down, though? You're gonna have to face the same situation. Maybe learn to call the police. You know? Interesting. That looks like a horror film. Alright, well, that was the first story. It wasn't too bad. Definitely quite interesting. It's one of the scenarios where it's like, what is this video? Why does the thumbnail look so scary? Not that I really care to...
Every so often a story comes to me that not only tugs...
If you listen to this, you'll never step foot in a national forest again. Two brothers joined their uncle on a camping trip when suddenly their trip starts to take a darker turn. It was a 1 hour story. This might be interesting.
The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body.
We'll see it, right? And we know that this is not a woman who is okay. And this was just 6 months ago. Now this was 2 days ago.
In regards to Ariana Grande, that is something that is genuinely
Ago. Now this was 2 days ago.
in regards to Ariana Grande.
Why am I searching this up? What's she look like now?
No wonder Ariana Grande looks like a completely different person. This used to be her. Now she's thinner than ever, sickly pale, and fans are seriously concerned because the Ariana we see today looks nothing like the girl we met a decade ago. No wonder Ariana...
Shut up. Different makeup, one. Different hair, two. Tone, she's a lot more darker before with tanning. Less tanning. And yeah, significantly cut weight. Would you say it's too much? Would you say she cut too much? It's up to you to decide that. You know? again, it's mainly the face makeup in here that changed, but yeah, she cut lots of weight. Again, I'm not gonna comment on it too much. You know, if you want to cut that much, you can. No one's stopping you. Is there anything else to look at? GG, look what happens when I look at one video. Now that my feed's just filled with Ariana Grande. I searched it up once. Look at the feed now. You kidding me? This story is an hour long and might be interesting. Maybe not. It
tugs at my heartstrings, but
I'll save it for whenever I feel like it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is it for now. It's been 23 minutes, and yeah, I mean, yeah, my feed now is scuffed because I searched up Ariana Grande, so GG, right? Feed is scuffed. Look at this ecosystem. You can tell by just one search, the ecosystem is scuffed. Look at this. That's what I mean by there's so many ecosystems, right? You just search up one thing and all of a sudden, why the ocean's deadliest predator refuses to kill us? Because we'll just kill him back. CIA's predator. I think I've seen it before. Is there anything else interesting? No, okay, whatever. Alright, I appreciate it. Sorry. Why am I rushing it? See you guys next time, right? Appreciate it. Till next time. Bye-bye.